let's talk about the flu and flu shots first. Absolutely. My guest today in the studio is Tammy Barnes. Tammy is a registered nurse. She works for Trios Health. She's going to be giving me my flu shot in just a little bit.
We're doing that live on the air, right?
We're going to do that live.
Of course, okay.
Yeah. Did you
Good.
already get one, or did you?
No.
No, you don't want one?
I'm bulletproof.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just kidding.
all right. I want you to learn what we're going to talk about today,
Okay.
and then I'm not going to ask you later, but
No, I'm
there's
not afraid of
much
needles, I've
much
just-
to learn about it.
You know, it's just one of those things you've never done it, so it's never top of mind.
Yes. Well, that's what I used to think. You know that? That's what I used to think. I used to think I was bulletproof. Well, I'm not going to get it or whatever, but I did get a flu shot last year, and obviously I'm going to get one now. Tammy, thanks for joining us today,
Thank you for having me.
talking about this important health issue. So, first of all, you know, what is the flu? What is the flu?
The flu is a virus.
What does that mean?
It's just something that we can catch. It's something that's going around that's spread by hand contact or sneezing, coughing, things like that. It's not an actual bacteria bug that goes around. It's just something that's communicable and contagious.
Oh, so I have to get it from someone else who has it.
Correct.
And how long is that period of someone being contagious?
They are contagious before they ever come down with the symptoms.
Oh.
So you're contagious in shedding the virus before you ever know that you have the flu.
Oh. So people, it's not like, well, I got to stay home because I don't want to make other people sick. I could be making other people sick and I don't even know it.
Correct. And that's one of the myths about the flu is, I haven't got the flu shot, and I don't have the flu, I can't pass it on. Well, the fact is you can actually be spreading that virus without ever getting sick or before you actually come down with the symptoms yourself.
Oh dear. Okay. So how again is it spread? Is it spread like, let's say, my phone that 5 other people touched? Is it still on the phone?
It is. It actually will live on surfaces. So when you sneeze or cough, touch your face, your mouth, your hands, your nose, and then you go and touch the counter, the shopping basket, shake hands with somebody, anything like that can spread the disease.
Oh, okay. So even though we're as careful as we can be, we're still spreading it all the time.
Correct. You're constantly shedding that virus when you're sick.
Okay, that does not sound good. All right, I'm surprised that more people do not get the flu then, based on that. So how serious is the flu anyway?
The flu can be very serious. People think of the flu and they think stomach. Well, actually the flu is a respiratory virus, so it affects your lungs. So especially those who are young, pregnant, geriatrics, or they have some other kind of comorbidity such as asthma, can be very sick with the flu, and in fact it kills people, thousands of people every year.
It kills them?
Yes.
Why? It just is
Because
so...
it just integrates into your lungs and you get so sick and you end up with pneumonia and end up dying. So it makes people very sick. You have very high fevers, you are really deep cough that you get as well with it. Your body feels like it's been hit by a train, lots of muscle aches, things like that.
All right, so I can probably pretty much guarantee to myself that if I get the flu, I'm going to be out of work, for example, for like a week.
Probably more than that.
Oh.
The flu, many people have it for 10 to 14 days. They have symptoms before it's completely gone.
Well, you know, I think that must be why then a lot of employers like to make sure that all their employees have access to the flu shot if they want it.
Correct. In fact, it's becoming a law in many states in the U.S. now that certain organizations such as healthcare are required to get the flu shot.
Well, that would be great. So if I go to Trios or any place else, at least I would have some sense that I'm not going to get it there.
Correct.
From the employees.
Correct. That is saying, I know we don't mandate that you get the flu shot. What we do mandate is if you do not get the flu shot, you have to wear a mask starting November 1st so that you're not passing that virus on to others.
Oh, okay. All right. John, we'll be expecting you to be wearing a mask now from here on out, okay?
You know, based upon those symptoms, 3 or 4 years ago, I think I came down with the flu because I lost about 10 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
It absolutely 2x4 upside the head.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
It makes you feel pretty sick. You feel pretty awful when you have the flu.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even want to go to the gym, and when I don't want to do that, then I know I'm sick.
Yeah.
So,
So do doctors here keep track of that? I mean, do we have some sense of collecting information about how many people get sick from the flu?
We do collect some information from the lab, so we'll know approximately how many people have come through our organization or our clinics and they've tested positive, whether it's what strain it is and how many for each department.
Yeah. So how many strains are there? I'm just wondering how all these strains line up with the flu shot?
Well, there's many strains out there, and what we do is we look at what's going on across seas and see what are the big strains that are going through over there. So this year we have what's called a quadrivalent flu shot, which actually has our 4 top strains that they're seeing right now.
Oh, okay. So one shot has protection against 4 different strains.
Correct.
Well, so if you get a flu shot, that's not going to prevent you 100% from getting the flu, is it?
No, it is not. So it will help prevent you from getting these particular strains, and if you do come down with this strain, it'll be a much lighter case, but you're always have the possibility of coming down with another strain.
All right. You know what we're going to do? We're going to take a break here. Then we're going to come back, and Tammy's going to give me a shot, and then we're going to talk more about what is in this shot and how it prevents us from getting the flu. Stay with us. This is Meet in the Middle on Monday. Welcome back to Meet in the Middle on this Monday, and we're talking about the flu. We're talking about how it's passed from person to person, what we can do to prevent it, and basically one of the prevention methods is getting a flu shot. So that's what Tammy Barnes is going to do for me right now. Tammy is a registered nurse. She works for Trios Health. So go ahead, come on over here and give me a shot, would you? And at the same time, we'll talk about some other things like, for example, I had to sign a form, didn't I? And what was this form?
It was a consent for me to give the shot to you, actually. And it was also just making sure that you're not allergic to eggs, you're not pregnant, and you are not allergic to thimerosal, and that you've had no symptoms of Guillain-Barré in the past.
Okay, so what is the eggs?
A lot of vaccines actually have an egg protein in them, and if you have an allergy to them, then we want to make sure that you've followed up with your primary care provider first, and that it's safe for you to take it.
So a lot of people like to watch this, so I'm done already?
You're done.
and she didn't even flinch. By the way, we record these and put them on our YouTube page, so.
Man, okay,
That was easy.
that was nothing. And I got a green, you guys. I got a
Green
green Band-Aid. It's actually for Trios because their colors are green, but I'm gonna say it's for the Seahawks, although we're gonna hide that under my shirt because Seahawks were kind of a disappointment this weekend.
You could go Green Bay green.
I know you could. Yes, absolutely. All right, so Tammy, it's virtually painless.
Well, thank you. That's, most of the time, as long as you got somebody who knows what they're doing, there's not a lot of pain with actually getting the flu injection.
Okay, so we were back there at eggs, I'm sorry. So eggs, egg byproduct, egg product is used in the vaccine.
Egg protein is
Egg
used when they
protein.
make it. So egg protein is used in many vaccines, and it's just something they help to stabilize and build that vaccination off of.
So when people go in, like they go to a drugstore, I know a lot of stores around our area offer flu shots, or to their doctor's office or whatever. Everyone is going to sign one of these forms, or is it just Trios? I mean, people are going to gather information, aren't they?
Doesn't matter where you go, these are the basic questions that are asked before giving any flu vaccination. So whether you go to, the Rite Aid, the Walgreens, the health department, or your primary care provider, they need to know these basic things. Are you pregnant? Are you allergic to eggs? Things like that.
Okay, would that make me ineligible to get the shot then? Let's say, for example, if a woman were pregnant?
No, it's actually highly recommended for pregnant women to
Okay.
get the flu shot. I just don't give it to them. We recommend they go to their OBGYN and get that flu shot at that time.
Okay, all right, so now I have the flu shot. Does that mean that I am 100% protected from getting the flu this year?
No, like most things in life, nothing's 100%. What it does is greatly reduce If you did come down with the flu, it would greatly reduce those symptoms and severity of that. And then it also doesn't stop for the other strains that the flu vaccine doesn't cover.
Oh, okay. So this vaccine is specifically designed around 4 most likely strains.
Yeah, so what we do is we look, over back east in China and Asia and different things like that. What are they seeing? And then our CDC kind of looks at that and builds off of that to what they expect us to see here in the U.S. So these are the 4 that they have decided to build this year.
So pretty much the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control,
Correct.
pretty much handles that for our country.
They do.
All right, so that's where the vaccine sort of, I don't know that it comes from. They don't make it.
No, I'm sure they got contractors that make that, but they help deciding which vaccine strains are we going to cover this year.
All right. So what are the important categories of people that should be getting a flu shot from your opinion?
Anybody over the age of 6 months is recommended to get a flu shot. It's especially important for anybody who's immunocompromised, who has things such as asthma, COPD, heart disease. Pregnant women and the elderly are more susceptible to the flu, and so we highly recommend that they get the shot.
Yeah. All right. So basically the flu leads to death for a certain percentage of our population every year, and yeah, it can be serious, huh?
Yes, thousands of people across the globe die annually from the flu, and so it's very important to get the flu shot.
So how many flu shots do you think do you have any feel for that, are given in the Tri-Cities?
I don't. I know we hover somewhere, 90+% in our organization, but I don't know for the Tri-Cities. I've seen some studies out there, they're 60 to 70%, but that's not specific to our area, so I just don't know on that.
Okay, so from my point of view, the more people that get the flu shot, the lower my odds are of getting the flu.
Correct. Yeah.
So I would like more people to get the flu
Yes.
shot, John. I would like more people to, and then that reduces, if I look at it selfishly for me, yeah.
Correct.
So there's a shot, but isn't there also the inhaled vaccine as well?
There is the flu mist, and that's
Yeah.
a live vaccine, so it's only given to certain people it's most commonly given to children. So as long as the children are safe, they're not immunocompromised or something like that, we give that to that. We do not give, like the flu mist is what we call it, to people who are immunocompromised or cancer, because it does have that live vaccine in that. And that vaccine just goes into the nose and goes no further and dies, and then your body builds immunities to it.
Well, are there people who should not get the shot?
If they have a history of Guillain-Barré, which is very, very rare, then we recommend that you don't get shot. Those under the age of 6 months. Those with egg allergies, we recommend you have to follow up with your primary care provider, but it's still strongly recommended. Usually what they'll have you do is pre-medicate with some antihistamines and steroids and things like that, and then you will still receive your flu shot.
All right, so I want us to talk to people out in our audience who may or may not get the shot. What is the best way, other than the shot, from your point of view, to reduce our chances of getting the flu?
Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. And when you think you've washed them enough, wash them some more. The number one way to prevent any kind of infection is just to, good hand hygiene, washing your hands with warm water and soap.
Warm water and soap.
Correct.
Yeah. So it's going to be it's going to be a droplet of liquid. That is what is the contagion. It's not just if I breathe on you.
Not necessarily if you're breathing, but it is in those little moisture droplets, and when you're sneezing and coughing, you're standing within a close vicinity with somebody else. Anything you've touched and they might touch, that is what the flu virus is living on, and then you can come down with it.
Hey, what about those sanitary wipes and stuff? What if we go around? I see them at the grocery store, and I've actually never used them, but now I'm thinking maybe I want to use them to wipe down my grocery cart and stuff like that.
They definitely help. Hand sanitizers or hand wipes that we can use. They come in what looks like the old baby wipe containers many
Yes.
times. Just make sure you're getting one that says that it kills the flu virus on it, because some are out there and they don't necessarily say that, and that's because they don't kill the flu virus.
Mhm.
So you just want to make sure that you're reading what it's going to actually kill. And yes, those are highly recommended to use as well.
So is the flu shot very expensive? I mean, what does it cost people?
It's not. I don't know the actual cost that we're charging this year, but it's somewhere between $30-$40. And I do know that if you are under the age of 18 and you go to your primary care provider, that the flu vaccine itself is free to children. Just many times you have an administrator charge or something like that. But as long as it's a state supplied vaccine, that is free.
I think a lot of insurance companies make it a preventative action, so they give it for free, I think. Does Medicare give it for free?
We bill, so it's whatever comes out of the bill.
Oh, okay,
So yeah,
okay.
so
I
we
mean
just send
free
it on
to
to
the
insurance.
to the patient. I don't
Yeah.
mean free to the provider.
Yeah, and that I don't know. I know that we bill for it,
Okay.
and that's what we do.
All right, so if people are out in our audience and they're thinking, yeah, maybe this is the year that I think that I'm going to get it, where do they go? What do they do? Where can they go besides their primary? Maybe they don't have a primary physician.
Well, of course, your primary care provider is your number one. If you don't, then you can always follow up at an urgent care or the Benton Franklin Health Department. There's also other organizations that have little flu clinics that go around, such as pharmacies and stuff like that.
All right. Tammy, is there something else that's really important about the flu shot or the flu that we have not talked about today? Because I want you to say that if we haven't.
Yeah, no, I think we've touched on everything. It's just really important for everyone to get the flu shot who's eligible for it. Make sure you wash your hands liberally with soap and water or using the gel sanitizers. Remember that you cannot catch the flu from the flu shot. It's actually impossible to do. And we just want to vaccinate as many people as we can and prevent as many deaths as we can.
So that's a myth. You
It
can't
is.
you can't get the flu from the flu shot.
No, you cannot.
All right. If somebody brings that up today, I want you to tell them Tammy Barnes from Trio says that is not true. All right.
Correct.
Tammy, thanks so much for joining us, and thanks for the flu shot here for myself. I'll try not to be giving you the flu, John. All right. Hey, we'll be back in a moment here, Monday on Meet in the Middle.